Hello everyone, my name is Shayna Knittel and this is my husband Florian Knittel.
Hi everyone.
Together we are Shine Flow from Zurich. This is actually our salon that we're standing now, and we're really excited and happy that we can share this moment today and to be connected worldwide at the same time. Thank you very much for tuning in. We're really happy that you took your time today, and just so we can show you some new skills. And again, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, also from my side, thank you very much for tuning in. It's Essential Looks 2021. The new collection is launched now and we want to celebrate that with you. The new collection is called Royal Glory, and for those of you who have been part of Schwarzkopf Professional's journey in the past, you will know that 3 trends come along with the Essential Looks trends. So today we're going to introduce you to our favorite and also lovely trend is called Artful Feeling. And Artful Feeling is a beautiful trend. It's totally playing into our field of hair cutting and hair coloring. And first of all, we're going to start doing a beautiful haircut that I think is also very cool to have it in a salon, to do it as soon as salons can be open. We'd like to take you through the technique right now.
So I actually sectioned my hair already to 4 sections, and we're going to present you a textured shag that is coming out in a very natural head shape. The silhouette is very showing because of the flat layering. And as well, I show you the sections. First of all, we start with a triangle for the French. Then I have section 2 and 3 that come from ear to ear over the crown area. And then I have section 4. And this one is horizontal, so I can really do a flat square layer in the beginning. So I will start with my first section, and I'm gonna pull out a vertical section and do it in a hair cutting technique that is actually cut in front of my hands, so I can have it a bit more textured from the beginning. And I also decide on my outline and the internal shape at the same time. So I'm checking my hairline like that, and then I will take the hair up and see which line I'm deciding. And that's where I'm starting to cut my haircut. From short to long in a diagonal section, cutting through the ends. And I'm taking my second section, and because it's a square, I pull it to section number 1. Again, fine section so I can see my line shine through. The third section coming to section 2 again. The comb I'm using on my thin side at the beginning. When I come to my other section, I'm starting with the wide side so I have less tension to the hair. But first of all, I want to do it with the fine side of the comb.
So you're working the guideline visually, or is that you taking it from one section to the other visually?
Well, I decided on my length visually, and now I'm following my guideline.
And that's the same with every section until you reach the corner, I suppose.
I'm staying in the back so I can actually do a square, and as well that I'm not getting round because I want to have it slightly longer to the sides.
All right. So it's an increase of length in the corners.
Exactly. That's also why I'm standing in the back, so I have the balance and I'm not going to the side because I don't want it to get round as well.
All right.
Coming to my last section on this side. And that's actually a cool way to cut textured hair because the hair is getting very fine to the ends and it looks quite organic and handcrafted and natural as well for the customer to style. Very cool because you don't see any line in the haircut.
Nice. Yeah, it's cool. It's easy to style, effortless. I think it plays into the whole mood of right now when people really love to have their hair super easy, not with a lot of styling products. So you can basically just let your hair dry and it'll dry into a beautiful texture.
So on this side, I changed my hand to the other side and as well cut from the front of my hands, going down again towards my outline. If the outline is still a bit long, we can check it in the end. But me, I also like to visualize the length from the beginning, so I have a feeling for the haircut. This side as well, second section to the first. And now you can really see your guideline. And as well, you can see how the texture starts to move internal.
Yeah, I think it's quite a topic right now that we're back to shags and layered haircuts. I think throughout the last 10 years, maybe, we cut so many lines and there were nearly no layers in the salon. And I think since half a year, we can feel such a strong comeback. And I think it's kind of an homage to that rock chick image that ladies like Blondie and Siouxsie and the Benji started when they wore like their super destructed, shattered kind of shaggy looks. And I think they're coming back, but in a more modern and a cooler way today. Do you think that you feel that too? Or?
Yeah, actually, I just like when the haircut is looking not like freshly done. So it's more of a natural feeling.
Like
that
a vintage
also
feeling and
comes in nature. Or not like looking like you have a fresh haircut from just so you see all the lines. I think it's much more fashion if you don't see that it's fresh.
Yeah, cool.
So I'm doing a cross-checking with a point cut technique. And you see how the corners get slightly longer. Okay.
Nice. First step done.
So the next step, I will just do the outlines. I will visualize the length I want and I will do it again without tension. So I will just do the natural fall and start with the point cut technique again. So you can choose your length depending on the whole features and feeling that you want. I will keep it slightly longer because I think it also looks very nice if it's not a bob. So it looks more like a long bob that is a bit grown out.
Yeah.
And as well, when you have the texture, it gets shorter. And I think it's very modern if it's not too short from the length, coming a bit longer to, not to the shoulder, on top of the shoulder.
Cool. Yeah, it has more this kind of loose and effortless kind of look.
So now I'm starting with my next section in the front. Here you go.
Nice texture already. It's cool how the layers create a beautiful surface of the hair.
So you can imagine that there is going to be a curtain French in the front. You can move it around from the middle to the side, and the French part is not connected to the side. It's not connected to the side. Actually, I'm choosing the length from my cheekbones and going diagonal towards the back.
Yeah.
And I'm again starting with my slicing technique. Taking the first section, diagonal, and using my comb as well as a visual guide. That means I'm doing my angle the way I'm doing my cutting line. Then there's cheekbone here. I'm starting with diagonal from my cheekbone to my outlines again, choosing the length in once. My second section comes to my first section, to the front again. Following the guideline from the cheekbone to my outlines.
So the choice of length is rather visually in that part. So you said it's the cheeks that is kind of your guideline.
It's very visual. I just think it's very important that we don't connect to the French.
Yeah.
So both have something to control. The French is more about the eye area, and then we have these layers that are a bit more around the face.
All right.
So I'm changing my angle, going towards the top, using my guide light from the front, taking it to the highest level of the head. And now, again, I'm going from short to long. I'm seeing my guide light here.
So now you change the elevation from downwards to upwards.
Yep.
All right. But you still take a guideline from the previous section. Mm-hmm. All right. Do you think that this haircut can also work with different lengths? Or what do you think, like, is it like also possible to go maybe longer or shorter or?
Of course, but I think still you have to be aware of the head shape. So you choose the length to make a very nice silhouette. So the texture actually and the head shape get once and look very great. The texture looks very great to the head shape.
All right. Yeah, I think it's all about comforting the client, making the silhouette beautiful and giving it a nice head-hugging look. Is that a technique that you do a lot in the salon?
Actually, yes,
a
lot.
Yeah, it looks fun actually. Feels like I want to do it too.
Now I'm coming to the back. That's why I'm changing to my other side, because the back I will do it afterwards. So I'm going from the other side. Here you go.
Here we go.
Taking the same section as before, diagonal, towards the front. So I also increase length from the beginning, I'm getting from short to longer.
All right.
The first 2 sections. And then again, I'm going up, changing the angle. So as well, the head shape is included again, going from short to long again.
All right.
Can I have this clip, please?
Sure.
Therefore, it's important that you take the same length as the other side. So I can...
Should I clip that away?
That's okay, it's okay. Just from the first on, you as well, you have this length to choose, but you also can take your cheekbone again to choose the length. Okay. Or you can also measure it with the comb. Again, you go from short to long. I think it's important that even though it's a textured way of cutting hair, it's important that you have a guideline and that you follow it so you have a very nice internal shape.
Maybe we twist it a little to the camera.
Thank
By
you.
the way, maybe I don't know if we have mentioned it that we're a married couple. Did we say that? So just to let you know, we live in the same house and we're married. We have a family together. So just to let you know, people that we're also respecting social distancing, and it's also a big topic here. So maybe you wonder why we're standing so close.
So I'm coming again to my third section, changing the angle to the top. Now I have to...
Maybe, you show the cutting side.
Here you go.
So it's the whole thing is mirrored to the other side. It's exactly the same.
Yeah.
All right. Now you're working straight to the back until there's no hair anymore coming up.
I'm doing the sides and then I'm starting to go connect the back. I already cut the square layer to the, I will take this section and connect it to the back I was already cutting.
All right.
To see if it's connected already. Go. There's my guideline from before. I'm just connecting it. So it's a very flat layer, and now I also can change my concise to the wide side because I don't want too much tension around the crown area. To as well see the texture and not getting too short in the back, because I really like as well that it looks kind of classic as well. It's not too much of a mullet.
Cool.
Connecting this as well.
Yeah, I like it. It's already a cool look in the length. It's kind of wispy, textured. It's cool.
So I'm taking it into the back of the square layer technique to see if it connects. So I have connected the front to the back, as well layered it, and now I can go on to the fringe area. First, I will also check the outlines for a second. If you want to go a bit crazy, you can also leave these ends, make it you can also just leave it like a accessory. But usually in the salon, people like to have it connected, so I will connect it.
Nice, it's already personalizing the haircut.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of texture in it, but it's kind of still flat and not so poofy, and it's not so classic. Yeah, it looks rather kind of rocky, rock and roll.
I already twisted a bit, makes it easier I actually style it already. Even the haircut is not finished yet. I'm using a bit of bouncy curl. That's like the best product for curly hair because it has oil and gel in it at the same time. It's
yeah, one of our favorites, definitely.
Yeah, it's actually one of our favorite and as well a favorite of our customers as well. So like a bestseller. So I twist it. So I can actually dry already. And then I'm moving on to my French.
I think that's kind of a cool inspiration for you guys to really start styling while you're cutting hair, especially working with a textured hair look. You can, while the hair is drying with the warmth of the head, is gonna add this kind of distinctive and intricate kind of look.
It's also very cool that you see now the haircut without the color because it's gonna look so amazing afterwards, and it's a bit of a secret for you because you cannot know what we're doing next. I think right now it looks very super commercial, and with the color it even looks more like this artful feeling that actually afterwards, the second session, we will see.
Yeah. All right, first section of the fringe.
Yeah.
What are you going to do exactly?
I'm taking a horizontal section so I can see the whole area of my French. Mm-hmm. And again, I'm visualizing it with my frame of my face so I can as well see what's happening. And I really love if the fringe at the moment is longer, so we can also style it to the side. It's actually a big trend right now, this curtain fringe. And it's very cool because you can move it around.
Cool. You want me to wet it down a bit, or is that fine for you?
A bit. Thanks for reminding me.
No, I meant the hair, not me.
Okay.
So where are you starting?
I'm using a freehand technique, just taking one piece. Can also twist it already a bit. Choosing the length, like on the point of my nose. And then I still can go a bit shorter in the end. But I think it's important that you don't go too short because we also texturize it. So the texturizing begins a bit above the nose, ending like on the point of the nose. like that. That's my length I choose. Taking vertical sections, going from short to long again. It has that very organic feeling to the hair.
Do you think it's also a hair cutting technique for straight hair, or you would say fits better with curly, textured hair?
That's actually a very good question. I think if someone has very straight hair, I wouldn't do it like that. I would go more classic. But I really think that you always have to see the texture and then you decide.
All right. All right, so
we can
next
also
section.
take big sections now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm leaving it slightly longer now as the base guideline, because as well the tension pulls it up.
Is there something you have to take care of when you're working with that technique? Like, what do you think is most important? It looks quite artsy, you know. Maybe it's something, you know, regarding in a technical way, like how maybe could people adapt to it?
Choose the length,
Yeah.
then visualize and take your guideline again and keep it a bit longer if you're not sure.
All right.
Then you can as well check it again in the end if you like the shape or not. Quite like the length.
Cool.
So the corners, I actually change my angle a bit and go up again so I can do a bit of a face framing to the sides.
So do you connect the sides to the fringe now, or?
No,
No, it's gonna stay separate.
I'm just going inside more
All right.
to just give it a lifting to the sides,
All
temple
right.
area. Not connecting this part here. Now my last section.
All right, so maybe a quick recap, like if people want to do the haircut themselves in their salons,
Yes,
like
please.
what do you think is most important, like when starting the haircut?
Just look at the texture,
Yeah.
at the features,
All right.
natural hair and outlines. Check the line, decide on the length,
Yeah,
and
choice of length is
yeah, keep it a
definitely
bit
most
longer
important.
actually. Now I'm starting with point cutting technique, going through again.
Okay.
Just going deep inside.
So is that to take volume out, or is that to add more texture?
Add more texture.
All right.
Do you want to recap the haircut maybe? So?
Yeah, so she was starting off with the back section where she was using a square layer, and she was moving on to the sides where she cut from short to long, pulling towards the front corners, and then she was lifting the hair up in the back. And then the end was that beautiful curtain fringe that she was working in a freehand technique, which is super playful and fun to do. I'm sure you're gonna have fun to do that. Yeah, and definitely it's a textured, cool shag look. It's a lot of fun to play with. It's something to, yeah, just basically let it dry and look what the texture does. I like that. I can't wait to show you what we were thinking on the color, because that's obviously not the end result that you see in the collection. So we were creating a beautiful coloring technique, which I hope you will stay tuned, and we're going to show you later on.
Thank you very much. Stay tuned for the next session.
Yes, thank you very much for tuning in.
Thank you again for being here and just to connect to us. And I can't wait actually to see you once in the live world.
Yeah, hopefully this will be possible.
Take care, guys.